Hey there, dog lovers! Welcome back to another episode where we dig into everything you thought you knew about your furry friend. Today, we're busting some of the most common dog myths that you've probably heard 100 times before. Some of these might surprise you, especially the real reason behind why your dog licks you. Spoiler alert, it's not all about affection. Let's dive right into the first myth. Why do dogs lick you? Now, it's easy to assume that when your dog licks your face, it's their version of a kiss, right? I mean, it feels affectionate, and who doesn't love a sloppy dog kiss? But the truth is, licking isn't just a cute way to say, I love you. In fact, it has roots that go way back to their wild ancestors. Let me explain. In the wild, puppies lick their mother's face after a hunt to encourage her to regurgitate food for them to eat. It's a survival instinct that, believe it or not, is still a part of your domesticated dog's behavior today. So, when your dog licks your face, they might just be tapping into this ancient instinct, asking for food. How wild is that? But that's not all. Dogs are also drawn to the salt on your skin. After you've worked up a sweat, your dog might just be licking you because they like the salty taste. It's not exactly the romantic gesture we hope it is, but hey, at least we know they're always up for a post-workout cuddle session. And believe it or not, licking can also be a sign of submission. When dogs feel anxious or unsure, they sometimes lick to calm themselves down or to show that they respect you. It's their way of saying, you're the leader, I'm just here to follow your lead. So, next time your dog licks you, think about what's really going on. It might be affection, but it could also be a request for food or a sign of submission. Now that we've broken down the licking myth, let's tackle another common misconception. If a dog wags their tail, they must be happy. While it's tempting to believe that a wagging tail always means your pup is thrilled to see you, that's not always the case. Tail wagging is more like your dog's emotional language, and you've got to read it carefully. For example, a slow, low wag could mean your dog is feeling uncertain or anxious. On the other hand, a fast, high wag might signal excitement or even aggression. And here's something most people don't realize. The direction of the wag matters too. Research shows that if a dog's tail wags more to the right, they're likely feeling positive. But if the wag is leaning more to the left, your pup might be feeling uneasy or stressed. It's like a built-in mood detector for your dog. So next time you see your dog wagging their tail, take a closer look. Are they relaxed? Excited? Nervous? Knowing what their tail is really saying can help you understand what they're feeling in the moment and respond appropriately. Dogs eat grass only when they're sick. Okay, let's move on to another myth that has puzzled dog owners for ages. Dogs eat grass because they're sick. You might have seen your dog munching on grass before and thought, oh no, they're going to throw up. But the truth is, most dogs don't eat grass because they're feeling sick. In fact, only about 22% of dogs who eat grass actually vomit afterward, and only 8% show signs of being sick before snacking on some lawn. So, why do they do it? Well, it could be because they're bored, anxious, or just curious. Grass is one of those things that dogs like to explore with their mouths, kind of like how humans might fidget with their hands when they're feeling a little restless. While the occasional nibble on grass is harmless, if you notice your dog doing it excessively, it might be a good idea to have them checked out by a vet. In some cases, it can be a sign of a nutritional deficiency or an upset stomach. But in most cases, it's just another quirky habit that we'll probably never fully understand. 1 human year equals 7 dog years. Now, let's dive into a myth we've all heard at some point. 1 human year equals 7 dog years. This idea has been around forever, but it's far from accurate. Sure, dogs age faster than humans, but the 7-year rule is way too simplistic. The truth is, dogs mature much faster in their first year of life. By the end of their first year, your dog is roughly equivalent to a 15-year-old human in terms of physical and mental development. After that, each year of a dog's life is more like 5 human years. And here's where it gets even more complicated. Smaller breeds like Chihuahuas and Dachshunds tend to live longer than larger breeds like Great Danes or Mastiffs. So the rate at which dogs age can depend a lot on their size and breed. Next time someone talks about the 7-year rule, you can wow them with the real science behind it. Dogs need to chew bones. Let's talk about another common myth that can actually be dangerous for your dog. Dogs need to chew on bones. We've all seen cartoons where a dog happily chews away on a bone, right? Well, while it's true that dogs love to chew, giving them real bones can actually lead to serious injuries. Cooked bones, especially, can splinter and cause cuts in your dog's mouth, throat, or stomach. They can even break their teeth or cause choking if a piece breaks off. Instead of giving your dog a real bone, try safer alternatives like nylon bones or rubber toys that won't hurt their teeth or digestive system. Remember, chewing is a natural instinct for dogs, so it's important to give them safe options to satisfy that urge. Otherwise, they might turn to something you don't want them chewing, like your shoes. Dogs are colorblind. Now, let's bust another myth that you've probably heard. Dogs are colorblind. While it's true that dogs don't see the world in the same vibrant colors that we do, they're not completely colorblind. Dogs can actually see some colors, but their vision is more limited compared to humans. Dogs can distinguish between blue and yellow quite well, but red, green, and orange tend to blend together and appear more like shades of gray. So, the next time you're picking out a toy for your dog, go for a bright blue or yellow one. They'll have a much easier time spotting it than, say, a red ball on green grass. A tired dog is a good dog. And here's another popular myth. A tired dog is a good dog. While it's true that physical exercise is important for keeping your dog happy and healthy, tiring them out physically isn't always enough. Dogs need mental stimulation too. If your dog is bored, they might start acting out, even if they've had a long walk or play session. That's why it's important to mix physical and mental exercise. Puzzle toys, training games, and new experiences can all help engage your dog's mind and keep them content. A well-exercised brain is just as important as a well-exercised body. You need to be the alpha. Let's wrap things up with a myth that's been around for a long time. You need to be the alpha in your household. This myth comes from outdated research on wolf pack behavior, where it was believed that the alpha wolf rules over the pack. But recent studies have shown that wolf packs function more like a family, with the parents leading their offspring. When it comes to dogs, you don't need to dominate them or act like the alpha. Dogs thrive on cooperation and positive reinforcement. So instead of trying to assert dominance, focus on building a loving, trusting relationship with your dog through training, communication, and lots of belly rubs. Dogs have cleaner mouths than humans. One of the most persistent myths is that a dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's. Now, this might sound nice, especially if you're the type who lets your dog lick your face, but unfortunately, it's not true. Both humans and dogs have billions of bacteria in their mouths. While the types of bacteria differ, it doesn't make one cleaner than the other. In fact, some bacteria in a dog's mouth can potentially be harmful to humans, especially if you have open cuts or wounds. While serious infections are rare, it's always a good idea to wash your face or hands after being licked, particularly if your dog likes to get into all sorts of messes. So while a dog's lick is mostly harmless, the myth of their mouths being cleaner than ours is one to let go. Dogs only see in black and white. Here's a fun one. Dogs only see in black and white. It's a common belief that dogs are completely colorblind, but that's not true. While they don't see the world as vibrantly as we do, they definitely perceive more than just black and white. Dogs have two types of color receptors, cones, in their eyes, allowing them to see shades of blue and yellow. They struggle with colors like red and green, which tend to look like shades of gray or brown to them. So while they might not appreciate the full range of colors we do, dogs can still see a colorful world, just with a more muted palette. Next time you're picking out toys, go for blue or yellow ones. They'll stand out more than red or green ones, especially on the grass. You should rub your dog's nose in their mess to potty train them. Last but definitely not least, here's a myth that could actually harm your relationship with your dog. Rubbing their nose in a potty accident helps them learn not to do it again. This old-school training method has been debunked by experts time and time again, but some dog owners still think it works. The truth is, rubbing your dog's nose in their mess does nothing but confuse and frighten them. Dogs live in the moment, and unless you catch them in the act, they have no idea why they're being punished. Instead of learning where they should go, they might just learn to be scared of you. A better approach? Positive reinforcement. When your dog goes in the right spot, reward them immediately with treats or praise. Patience and consistency are key to successful potty training. Alright, that's it for today's myth-busting session. I hope you learned something new about your dog's quirky behaviors. If you've got any myths you'd like us to debunk, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any future videos packed with tips and fun facts about your four-legged best friend.